And that's Days of Jupiter with The End Will Begin Again off of their disc Panoptical. And I'm pretty sure you'll be hearing a lot more from them on this show. Before that, Lance King with Awakening off of A Moment in Kairos. And if you liked that, make sure to go Google Lance King and look for maybe his webpage, because he is offering downloads of that CD for free to drum up interest for a Kickstarter for a new CD that he's going to try to put out. So, good cause. That about wraps up all the time I have for music here on Mostly Metal. And now it's time to switch over to the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program.
Your insubordination will not be tolerated.
This is the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program here on WVLP. I'm Ken the Metal Professor, and my job is to catch you up on two events that took place in this area over the weekend. On Friday night out in Plymouth, we had a show co-sponsored by Extreme Sports Entertainment and Pro Wrestling King. It was called A Night of Havoc. It was at the Lifeplex Center out in Plymouth. And if you want to see more lengthy-ish descriptions of what happened and some pictures from the event, go to metalprofessor.com, and the very first article you'll see there is a recap of this show. I was there in the audience. I took pictures and I wrote about the matches, but just really quickly going through them, you had Jaden Michael Quick defending his Pro Wrestling King Heritage Championship against Jake Oman and being successful, and so he hangs on to that title. Jordan Silver took on Matt Starr and was able to get a win. Matt Starr was distracted by Psycho, who came out from the back to play mind games with Matt Starr, and so I'm sure those two guys will be going at it in the near future. Mitchell Taylor is the current Pro Wrestling King North American champion. He defended his title against Tony Thunder and was able to walk away with his title through shenanigans. He actually ended up getting disqualified. There was a chain involved, and because of a disqualification, he does not lose his title. K.O. Kendra took on Travis Trendbender to see who would be the number one contender for Moxie Molly's PWK Women's Championship. K.O. Kendra won that match, and so she'll take on Moxie Molly at the next Pro Wrestling King show in November in Knox, Indiana. Nick Cutler was victorious against Keith Cream. And Just Amazing defeated Russ Jones. Just Amazing flip-flopped all over the place, and Russ Jones is like a brick wall to stand in his way, but Just Amazing did end up getting the win in that one in a good match. And the last match was a fatal four-way match for the Keys to the Kingdom, which are like Money in the Bank. The winner of Keys to the Kingdom holds a actual large key, which he can turn in for a title shot at any time he wants. The contestants were Steven Drochner, Scotty Young, Jared Kripke, and special guest Matt Cross. Yes, that Matt Cross, son of Havoc from Lucha Underground fame, among other places. And so that was a lot of fun to watch him mix it up with the local guys. Steven Drochner ended up winning that match, and so he can challenge the PWK heavyweight champion at a time of his choosing, which very well could be the next show in Knox. Again, go check out metalprofessor.com if you want to see pictures from that event or slightly more detail about what happened. The rest of the time in the hour, I have a delayed audio coverage of an event last night in Griffith, Indiana, Backbreaker Wrestling's Mega Clash 2. I brought the gear, I set it up, I had technical problems, I tried to record stuff, I fixed them, I recorded more stuff, and so for the next 33 minutes, you'll hear all the sounds I got with some description of what's going on. So sit back, get yourself comfortable, and listen to half an hour of wrestling noise and description of what's going on from me, and get a sense of how this show went and what it's like to be at one of these wrestling events. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to turn this over to myself. So this is Ken the Metal Professor. Ken the Metal Professor, take it away. This is Ken the Metal Professor representing WVLP. I'm here at St. Mary Hildebrandt Hall in Griffith, Indiana, bringing you a delayed audio recap coverage of Mega Clash 2, put on by Backbreaker Wrestling. Backbreaker has been running for about a year, and in fact, this is sort of their one-year anniversary because about this time in 2017, we had Mega Clash 1. And so this is sort of their one-year anniversary party. Most of their shows have been here at the St. Mary Hildebrandt Hall complex, although they have had one show that was outdoors earlier in the summer, and it was about 105 degrees, if I remember right. But it's nice and comfortable in here, even though the weather outside has been horrendous today. This is being recorded on Saturday, October 20th. I'm actually introducing the show during intermission, which is kind of backwards. But I was having technical problems and ended up having to record the first half of the show through my single channel input. And we'll hope that I've got things sorted out and can do this better in the second half. In the ring right now is Bam Bambino taking on Kurt Joseph. Bam almost got the pin. Bam is the patriarch of the Bambino family. Normally we see the Bambino brothers, but tonight it's up to Bam. I had some technical difficulties at the start of the show and wasn't able to jump in right at the very beginning, so I'll catch you up here. The show started, as usual, with the Top Guns coming out and bringing the flag so the crowd could do the national anthem. And then Kurt Joseph came out with his golf club and his attitude. And Bam Bambino came out in his sharp dress, his black slacks, his nice button-down white long-sleeve collared shirt. And he just put away Kurt Joseph with a stunner. So while I figure out my technical problems, I'm recording on one channel. I hope it'll sound okay, and then once intermission gets around and I can plug and unplug and fiddle with cables, hopefully I can move back to the full setup for the second half of the show. But for now, it is what it is. You can still hear me, you can still hear the crowd. You can hear them laughing at Kurt Joseph, who just fell out of the ring. Bam takes a gracious exit from the arena, and the crowd is cheering for him. And we'll see what match is coming up next. The second match is a tag team match. The first team was introduced as the Uprising, and it turned out to be Jeremy Hadley and Luis Rojas together. Oh man, either one of those guys is bad enough one-on-one, but both of them together, the crowd did not like that at all, and they let them hear it. Their opponents are the Top Guns. It's pretty obvious who the crowd is pulling for here. And I guess the bell rang, but the match has not come to any sort of function because the Top Guns have knocked the Uprising out over the top rope, both of them. The Top Guns just scared the pants off of the Uprising with a fake suicide dive. Jeremy Hadley dove to the floor to try to get out of the way of the dive that didn't actually happen. The Uprising seems to be arguing about which one of them has to get in the ring and start things off. Now they're psyched up. That was Jeremy Hadley's introduction to the ring. That was Luis Rojas getting dumped right on top of Jeremy Hadley. The Top Guns had a little trouble hoisting him up into the air, though. And now we're back to some semblance of control with Jeremy Hadley in the ring with one of the Top Guns. Jeremy Hadley has Ace in a sleeper hold, which is an interesting strategy. But then Ace just slammed Hadley back into the corner, taking out Hadley and Rojas at the same time. Those two thuds were a suplex and a body drop. Highball just came in with a big frog splash, but Hadley got his knees up. And Highball took the worst of that. And now he's down. The Uprising almost got the 3 count on Highball. Rojas just tried to slingshot Hadley, his own partner, into Highball, but Ace had pushed Highball out of the way to take the blow himself. He caught Hadley and body slammed him, and then he body slammed Rojas. Now both of the Uprising are up in the air going for spins at the same time. And everybody is loopy. Highball's up in the corner for another frog splash. Assisted by Ace, who launches Highball onto Hadley. And there's the 3 count. Top Guns get the win. Coming up here for match number 3 is Dave Allen against Xavier Black. I'm a bit conflicted here because Xavier was announced as coming from Valparaiso, so of course I have to root for him. But when he came out, he was being kind of mean to people. On the other hand, Dave Allen has confused me because I'm not used to seeing him slapping people's hands on the way around the ring, but he was doing it. And the two guys are just con after each other, and they're rolling around the ring trading blows. I thought maybe the two were on good terms, so who knew what happened? But WVLP is Valparaiso's community radio station, so no matter what his demeanor, we've got to pull for Xavier Black, who has been kicked out of the ring by Dave Allen.
That's the curse of me. I grew up in Cincinnati liking the Bengals. I went to IU and liked the Hoosiers. So whoever I root for is in for a bad night. Ooh, I don't know if you were able to hear that through this single-channel microphone setup that I'm stuck with right now, but Dave Allen just suplexed Xavier Black onto the bare gymnasium floor. And the crowd's chanting for one more time. Oh, Allen tried it a second time and just got slammed into the metal ring post for good measure. See, those Valparaiso people are smart. In wrestling, you know that when the straps come down, things are getting serious. Dave Allen just took his straps down from his singlet off his shoulders. But he quickly has ended up in a half Boston Crab. He's in the strange position of having the crowd chant for him. But I'm still rooting for Xavier because he's the hometown kid for me. We just had a double KO. Xavier Black and Dave Allen hit each other and both of them went down. And now, like 4 people from the back, all dressed in black, have run out to the ring. Oh, Austin Fury, Dakota Prodigy. I can't tell who the other 2 are. They're attacking Dave Allen. Cade Lee, Backbreakers organizer, has jumped in the ring to try to settle things down. There are 2 refs out there now. I don't think Cade was expecting this. Someone in the crowd has just shouted, "You've ruined a perfectly good match and we don't like you." Which I think was the point. I don't think Austin Fury and his crew are out here to be liked. I still don't know who the other 2 are. One has a bandana around the lower half of his head, and I don't recognize the upper half of his head. Cade Lee is having words for them. The 2 refs are back out now that they've gotten Dave Allen to the back. Uh-oh, Cade Lee is taking his shirt off. It looks like he's ready to go. He's mad. The 4 disruptions are bidding their retreat to the back. I still don't know who 2 of them are. I'm disappointed in Dakota Prodigy. Ref Oscar and Ref Zoran and Cade are now coming out of the ring too. And now it's intermission time. Time for me to try to plug everything back in and see if I can get more than one channel. Aha!
You are listening to the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program on WVLP 103.1 LPFM in Valparaiso, Indiana.
All right, right, we are ready to rock here for half number 2. Intermission is over. Backbreaker Wrestling's Mega Clash 2 is picking up again. Wildman Beast will be faced by Crimson Dynamo. And somebody's already chanting Beast is going to kill you to Crimson Dynamo. As much as I like Crimson Dynamo, that is legitimately a possible outcome of this match because Wildman Beast is a large human being. Crimson Dynamo is trying to get Wildman Beast to clap along, but he's not having much luck. And Crimson Dynamo made the mistake of turning his back on Wildman Beast and got clobbered. So this match is underway. Yeah, that just happened. Here we go again. I'll give that a 3 out of 5 as far as slaps go. The Beast is going to work on Crimson Dynamo with a foreign object that Ref Zoran still hasn't seen. Or international object, to trademark Jim Ross. He has an interesting hiding place for this foreign object. Wildman Beast has rather large man chest areas, shall we say, and the space underneath one of them happens to be a little perfect nook to hide the small sharp object. You don't see that every day. Crimson Dynamo worked on the Beast with a headbutt and several springboard clotheslines off the ropes, and he finally got him off his feet. Wildman Beast doesn't leave his feet very often. And that large thunk was Crimson Dynamo being speared to the mat by Wildman Beast. This clicking noise you hear, that's me pressing F. And poor Crimson Dynamo, that's the end of him. Wildman Beast gets the pin. The match is over, but Beast is still tormenting Crimson Dynamo. That thud was him just dropping however many 100 pounds of his weight right onto the rib cage of Crimson Dynamo. I think Crimson Dynamo can now fit into those new pants that he bought that were too small as of yesterday. So we have Johnny Motley against Dick Davis.
Your opponents, the first weighing in at 213 pounds from Oval Beach, Dick Davis. And his opponent, weighing in at 185 pounds, he is the Sunset
The stipulation for this match was announced before the contestants. Loser leaves backbreaker wrestling. I kind of wish it was hair versus hair, but I'm not in charge. Before the match even got started, Austin Fury, Dakota Prodigy, and the other two unknown black-clad masked men have come out and surrounded the ring, one per side. And now Davis and Motley have sort of teamed up, trying to take care of these guys as they come into the ring. Neither one of them appreciated having their match interrupted before it even started. Oh, and now Motley and Davis are back to shoving each other. I wonder if they're each blaming the other for the presence of these guys. They just can't get their match started because these other four keep interfering and running in the ring. It's kind of like 2-on-4, but of the two, it's still 1-on-1. So basically everybody hates everybody right now. Mrs. Lee has officially made this a 4-on-2 tag match. And the two of the 4-on-2 are not going to work well together. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be punishment for Motley and Davis or punishment for the four that are interfering. The match has started when Austin Fury shoved Dick Davis into Johnny Motley. Of the four interlopers, Austin Fury and Dakota Prodigy are easily identified. The other two I still didn't know, but now that I'm getting a look at him up on the ring, he looks kind of like Billy the Kid. If Billy the Kid shaved his head bald but kept his beard. But I'm not close enough to tell. Motley and Davis continue to have trouble between themselves, taking turns violently tagging themselves in, whether the other one likes it or not. I am calling it Mystery Man number 3. I'm calling it Billy the Kid. And if it's not Billy the Kid, well, that's his name now. Mystery Man number 4 is still totally wrapped up in a black hoodie and a bandana around his face. He's the shortest of the four. Could be Rey Mysterio. Motley's up in the air. Get ready for a slam. There we go. And now Austin Fury up on the turnbuckle to follow that with a frog splash, I bet. Nope, Motley got his foot up. This match is going on. Mystery Man number 4 was in the ring with Dick Davis, and now he's taken off his hoodie. Facing off against Davis, is it Kevin Graves? I think it is. He was Dick Davis's cohort, compadre, chum. And now he's just standing by while Austin Fury stomps on Dick Davis. Motley's in to try to rescue Davis, probably against his better judgment. But it's 4-on-2. There's not a whole lot he can do. The referee's pretty outnumbered as well. As it looked like Motley and Davis were going to cooperate enough to get the upper hand, things totally broke down, and Ref Oscar has called for the bell. I think he's just throwing this whole mess out, and I don't blame him. Cade Lee is coming out to ringside. He does not look pleased. Oh, Cade is calling some extra folks from the back. Here comes Gabe the Brave, who decks Kevin Graves. And he decks Billy the Kid. And he Samoan drops Dakota Prodigy. And now he's left in the ring with Austin Fury, who gets shoulder tackled through the ropes into the outside. So maybe Cade Lee is not in a position to get in the ring and get physical, but he can choose somebody to do the job for him. And Gabe the Brave cleared out the ring. Let's see what happens next. Everybody was cleared out except for Dick Davis and Cade Lee. Cade Lee was trying to explain to Davis the lay of the land with these 4 new people getting in everybody's faces, trying to convince Dick Davis that maybe he should stand on the same side of the line as Johnny Motley and Cade Lee himself. The crowd was into it. Dick Davis was into it. Johnny Motley came back out. And it looks like they may be making peace. So it could be that neither Johnny Motley or Dick Davis are gone from Backbreaker. All right, we finally reached the main event for the Backbreaker Heavyweight Championship. Champion Shooter McGavin defending against Trog the Caveman. Shooter McGavin is in control of the match for a little bit now. He's hauled Trog the Caveman around a couple of times by his beard. He's cheated and yelled at the ref. He's hitting all the notes. Now he's got Trog in a sleeper hold, and Trog is getting droopy. Arm drop number 1. Arm drop number 2. And, oh, it almost got to the ground, to the mat. And then Trog with a burst of energy. Oh, but he's right back in another sleeper. Looking for an escape and flings Shooter McGavin into the turnbuckle. So Trog is trying to recover and get the upper hand himself. We'll see how this goes. And there you go, Trog the Caveman with the win. He came off the corner with a bouncy belly flop right on to Shooter McGavin and got the 3 count. Trog the Caveman's now the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And that's a wrap. I think that's the end of the action here at Backbreaker Wrestling's Mega Clash 2 from St. Mary Hildebrandt Hall in Griffith, Indiana. I'm Ken the Metal Professor representing WVLP 103.1 FM, Valparaiso, Indiana, with this delayed radio coverage of Mega Clash 2.